Welcome back, compadres, or as we Greeks say, Philios. Welcome back to another episode of The Tales of Ulysses, the Big Horsey Ride. We're nearing the end of this trail, compadres, of this story of the big wooden horsey. And Ulysses only needs to convince one more filler to tear down them city gates, and Troy will be his. Let's see how that turned out.
What's the deal here?
This guest needs to get into that city, but his wooden horsey is too, big. I need an okay to take down the gates.
And this is the paperwork on it. Alright, I'll take over, thanks. Hi there, I'm Demi Creniel. Welcome to Troy. This your giant wooden horsey?
Yes, it is. You see, it is meant as a token of respect for the
to
gods.
Troy,
What
no
with
fruits,
the,
no
you
ghosts,
know, the gods like big
got
things.
insurance.
Gotta
Looks
have it
pretty
today.
good to me.
Instant
Hey, wait a
gratification.
minute. Hey, pal. Just one thing.
Yeah?
You said you've never been to Troy, right?
Inside Troy. No, never.
Well, then how did you know which are the regions as described in Section 147B, subsection C of the Trojan Municipal Code?
I beg your pardon?
I mean, you're saying you ain't carrying any fresh fruits and vegetables from 147B, subsection C regions. But the only place those regions are described are in copies of the Trojan Municipal Code, which is only located at the City Clerk's Temple, which just happens to be located only in downtown Troy.
You mean you don't have any extra copies of the code at your public libraries scattered throughout Asia Minor?
This ain't Greece, pally boy. We Trojans believe in information haves and have-nots. So maybe you'd like to define for me the regions as described in Section 147B, subsection C of the Trojan Municipal Code. Or maybe I'm just going to have to take this big wooded horsey apart, plank by fruit-hiding plank, to look for myself.
Sparta, Melos, Capsidens.
No help from the horsey's belly.
Officer, what I meant when I said we didn't have any fresh fruits or vegetables from...
Any of the sections described in Section 147B, subsection C.
Yes, thank you. Was that we... I don't have any fresh fruits or vegetables. So I couldn't have any fresh fruits or vegetables as described in Section 147B,
subsection C of the Trojan Municipal Code. Right, yeah.
Good answer.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that this giant wooden horsey, there's not one fresh fruit or vegetable.
That's right.
In this wooden horse so huge, we're going to have to tear down the city gates. There's not one leafy green item?
That's right.
So, what do you feed him?
What?
My horsey eats carrots and apples. What does yours eat?
But it's a wooden horse.
Hey, pal, a horse is a horse, and I've been a supervisor long enough to know when something fishy is going on. Mac, get the fruit-smelling dog.
But this is a token meant to show respect for the gods.
Ulysses?
Do I look stupid, pal?
Just hold that thought for a moment, would you, sir?
Make it snappy, pal. We've got a giant wooden aardvark right behind you.
What is it, Overia?
Well, remember when you said I couldn't bring Pony?
Yes, Overia.
And you said no, because it wouldn't fit, and I said that wasn't fair.
Yes, Overia.
And I said Pony would miss me, and then you yelled, and then I got
Overia,
upset.
would you please get to the point here?
Well, since I couldn't bring Pony, I brought some pony food.
What?
Well, when I get lonely and miss Pony, I pretend Pony is here. And I give him apples and carrots and pretend to scratch behind his ears and rub his nose.
Apples and
pet him.
carrots? You have apples and carrots here.
Yes,
Here, in the big wooden horsey, you have apples and carrots?
yes.
And you didn't share? No, never mind. Give them to me.
But they're ponies.
Overia!
All right, here. But Pony doesn't like you anymore.
Now go back and hide with the rest of the noble crew. One little pony is going to dog food when we get back. Excuse me, sir.
Now look at what we have here. A Greek bearing fresh fruits and vegetables. Wonder where they came from.
It seems that somehow I seem to have accumulated a few carrots and apples in the giant wooden horsey, which have just very recently, come to my attention. So now I'd like to declare them and give them to you, sir.
So, you're sure that you're not carrying any more fresh fruits or vegetables into Troy?
Yes, sir, I am.
Swear?
Swear.
Okay, pal. I know how it is with kids. They're always picking something up. Enjoy your stay at Troy. Okay, Mac, tear down the city gates.
Okay, boys, let our rep.
Gee, thanks. Say, could you do one more thing for me?
Sure. What?
Could you tell me where's the nearest ice cream stand?
No problem. You just take a left right past the Temple of Apollo, and then you take the first right next to the Temple of Aphrodite, third door on the left next to the sacrificial. Yeah, the sacrificial.
There you have it. They actually tore down the city gates to make room for a big wooden horsey. Improbable as that sounds, it happened. If I wouldn't have been there recording this here podcast, I wouldn't have believed it myself. Sometimes I suppose you just need one bull-headed feller moving ahead and causing things to happen to make something happen. I don't know, maybe that's a moral or something. That's it for this Tales of Ulysses, the Big Horsey Ride. Next time I'm gonna give you some outtakes of the fine people that brought you this story. After that, we'll see what happens. Thanks for listening to the whole story. Appreciate it. Now it's time for me to say adios, compadres. Time to move on. Bye-bye.